World Speech Day is an annual celebration of freedom of speech and is marked on the 15th of March each year. The theme for this year is Ideas for a Better World. Public speaking events are held in over 100 countries, and people from all walks of life are encouraged to voice their opinions in front of an audience. Free speech, considered a vital tenet of democracy, sees a growing threat each year. World Speech Day aims to honor speeches for being the oldest medium of mass communication. The day is all about reaching out to unexpected voices everywhere, from middle school classrooms to community halls, universities, think tanks, multinational companies, and democracy forums. The observation has inspired millions of people to let go of fear and embrace the power of their voice. Let's talk some more about the World Speech Day, and joining us is founder of the Smartan House, Johnson Abbaly. Thank you so much for joining us on World Now. Well, speeches are an integral part of our everyday life, being the oldest means of mass communication. But talk to us about the significance of commemorating the World Speech Day.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. We all know that we live in a world where speech, as it were, is the reason why we have fought wars. It's also the reason why we have maintained the peace. If you look back at the story of the South African nation, you realize that their transition from apartheid to democracy was because of the strong, powerful ethos of people like Nelson Mandela and the strong, powerful speeches that led to reconciliation and healing. If you look at how the world had managed its conflict, we know that words from people like Adolf Hitler had led to war. We also know that there are strong, powerful national leaders who have used speeches to calm storms as well. And so this is one very powerful tool and skill that we think that the world should embrace more vigorously, because the more we are better at communicating intelligently and speaking truth to power in ways that engender peaceful coexistence, the better for all of us. And I think that's part of the reason why this year the theme itself is looking at ideas for a better world. In fact, as a matter of fact, the International Organization for the World Speech Day had shortened that speech following an inspiration they got here from Lagos. So what they called Ideas for a Better, and then they just put some ellipses after that. Because the organizers of that in Lagos have said that they like to focus on ideas for a better Lagos. And that have inspired those who put this together internationally to say that every other organizations and communities and countries can just adapt the Lagos model to do that. And that's a plus for us. So we need to commemorate this more often. And besides just doing that, invest more in teaching our young people how to conduct effective, powerful speeches that leads to progress and prosperity.
Let's talk about that investment some more, because this would involve catching these people young. They don't have to, be in their 20s or 30s before we get to them. How would you advise governments and organizations to invest in young people and their ability to make a change through their voice?
I think, first of all, government needs to start to think differently about how we conduct our debate competitions, speech competitions, and all of that. Debates are often how schools engage with young people and teach them how to construct arguments and prepare speeches. But then we need to now begin to think about how do we expand this beyond just mere debate in secondary schools and primary schools? How do we start to inculcate more speech-making competitions? Because the semantic model is different for speeches as they are for debate. In debate, you have to organize points in a logical manner and hope to, score against an opponent. But in speech-making, you are making a mass appeal. You are trying to develop a concept and you're trying to drive it so that you can get everybody to buy in. That's a whole different set of skill. And I think we're not doing enough of those. So already there's something being done. I mean, there's an age-long practice of school debates and all of that. We need to be able to transition that more into more speech-making competitions, get young people to make speeches and drive this going forward. And besides And if you see the nature of speech making in our high institutions, you realize that we got this backwards. Because the only places where we see us make speeches in high institutions is when young people want to run for political offices, and then there is this incredible, vibrant energy around the Aluta mantra. And so everybody seems to sound alike, and there is this war cry. It's almost as though if you do not know how to rally people with a buzzer, you can't make a compelling speech. That is not speech making. That is a rabble rousing. And it is not the same thing. And so as a result of this, most of our young people have not learned the ethics of making proper speeches. And so we just go on a rant and we mistake those for speeches. So I think that that should be included as part of critical thinking and problem-solving skills at all levels of education, from primary to tertiary. People need to learn how to talk, how to make speeches, how to win arguments, how to disagree without being disagreeable. It's a very important skill for peaceful coexistence. And those are some of the things that enhance social cohesion as well.
All right, then, and as we celebrate today, we really do hope that, ideas for a better world, a better Lagos, a better Nigeria would come to the fore, and that these ideas would actually be implemented, which is a key to achieving the much needed growth we need in our societies. Johnson Abbaly is founder of the Smartan House. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 1.
Thank you very much.